Okay, I was muted. Okay, so can you guys hear me now? Welcome to day 2 of the IBO Summit Week. Let me know now if you guys are able to hear me. All right, so we're gonna give it a couple minutes, allow a few of you guys to just come on in. Okay, great. You guys can hear me now. Looks like you guys can see it inside the IBO Summit Week group as well, because I see that in there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, great. You guys can hear me now. Welcome to day 2 of IBO Summit Week. How did you guys like day 1? If you guys came here day 1, how did you like those presentations on day 1? Did you find it helpful? Were you able to take notes, and did you get a couple of takeaways from day 1? Let me know in the chat how day 1 went for you, how you liked day 1. All right, let's bring this one up. All right, not the view that I wanted. No. All right, you guys, let me know how you liked day 1. Stop that screen share. Let's do it again. Very informative, great information. You wasn't able to make it. Some of the Facebook users, it doesn't show your name. So if I don't call you out by name, it doesn't actually show the names for Facebook users. Unless you give Restream access to be able to get your name. But if you're not able to make it to yesterday's sessions, I know that my sessions were, they're on YouTube. They're in the group as well, but you could certainly watch those 2 sessions yesterday on YouTube. I'll drop the link for the channel. And then Daniel's session was inside of the group too. And his session was very, 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 very informative. So I do recommend that you go back and you catch his session as well. So I did post the link to the YouTube channel just in case you want to go back and review those other 2 sessions. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Someone else said day 1 was incredible, helpful, and informative, excellent content. Okay, awesome, awesome. All right. I'm going to bring up my information here for you guys in a second. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So just to let you guys know what's on the agenda for today, of course, we're doing my session right now, which is going to be about the secret sauce of growing your business. At 3 o'clock, we're going to have Tiffany, who is a psychotherapist, who is going to share with you all about self-care tips for the busy business person. And then at 7 o'clock, Daniel is going to come back again today for more Q&A. Okay, and I do think he's giving away a prize, some type of gift at the end of his session for Q&A, and I'm going to give a prize away today. So you do want to go ahead and stay to the end, because I am going to do a little giveaway during this session too. So let's go ahead and get started with this. I want to be sure that everyone can see my screen. Let me know that you're able to see my screen just fine. Just let me know inside of the chat. Just let me know inside of the chat that you could see my screen. Okay. Take this off. Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to be talking about the secret sauce to growing your Arise IBO business, or actually just not an IBO business, and business in general. So that is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and make this introduction, even though most of you probably already know me or you attended day 1, but just in case you're watching somewhere and you're not familiar, I'm going to go ahead and just give you a quick introduction. My name is Kenniqua, and I'm a mother of 2 girls, and I love working from home from my little part of the internet. I am a serial entrepreneur who loves creating, designing, and sharing my knowledge to help entrepreneurs achieve success in their businesses. So in 2015, I quit my 9-to-5 job to be a full-time entrepreneur so I can have the freedom to live on my own terms, spend more time with my family and explore my natural talents and earn income without a ceiling. So in 2018, I created the IBO Knowledge as Wealth program because I'm passionate about helping entrepreneurs just like me launch and grow their virtual call center businesses without any pitfalls. Over the years, I learned that I love to teach, and even as an introvert, through our e-courses, 101 consults, live training programs, we have been able to help 2,000 plus entrepreneurs start their businesses and earn income for their families. All right, again, welcome to day 2. So we made it finally through day 1, which was very exciting, and now we're on day 2. What I would like for you to do is just go ahead and just introduce yourself inside of the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. If you attended day 1, let us know that you attended day 1 and what you plan on learning today. Okay, and someone said they're unable to pull it up on the YouTube channel. It should be there, but let's just make sure that I can see it while you guys are posting in the chat. So yeah, I see it on YouTube myself because I see a couple people are watching it on YouTube as well. Yeah, so there's a couple people that are watching it on YouTube right now. All right, you guys go ahead and feel free to introduce yourself. And we're going to go ahead and get started because I'm going to be sure that today we don't take as long today. I do want to still take some questions today as well. So we'll do a little bit of Q&A after we get through this session. My portion will probably be about 30 minutes or so, and then we'll do some Q&A. But before we go ahead and get started, if you're watching this on Facebook and if you're not inside a group, you can go ahead and just hit the share button on this video. That way other entrepreneurs will be able to see it as well, because this particular lesson does not just apply to Arise IBOs. It applies to anyone who's trying to go through and grow their business, especially if they're a solopreneur or just working by themselves or even with a small team. So that this can apply to them. So go ahead and share or tag someone that you believe that this will actually benefit. If you're not already and you are currently in a Rise IBO, go ahead and join the IBO Knowledge as Wealth program Facebook group. You do have to be in a Rise IBO in order to be able to join that group. Be sure to answer the group questions. I did get a lot of requests yesterday, but I didn't get a lot of people answering the questions. So be sure that you do answer the questions so I will be able to allow you into the group. All right, so we have Samantha for Floor. This is her first time as an IBO, looking to learn more about the best steps to begin on this great new adventure. We have Kim, who's also first time attending today. She's open to learning everything. And then we have Larisha from Alabama. She's been an IBO for 3 months. All right, so to get you guys posted in the chat, again, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is under my name now. It actually changed the name just to make it easier because it was really long and it didn't really fit. When I look at it on mobile, it didn't really fit the whole name anyway. So I just changed it. So it's under my name, Kenniqua J. And I do post new YouTube videos every single Thursday. We talk about entrepreneurship, of course, everything Arise IBO and Arise related in general, and then some work from home tips. So be sure to go ahead and subscribe to those new to that channel because I do post those new videos. And there's a ton of videos up there that you guys can really just go through and binge watch. I put them in particular playlists to make it really easy and organized here for you. We have Cecilia. She said she attended yesterday, apart from the academy as well, a part of the academy as well. Awesome. All right. So what you want to do is, if you do have your IBO Summit workbook, go ahead and turn to day 2, and you'll be able to go through and take notes from there. Otherwise, you could just take out a piece of paper and a pen, no problem. Or if you want to take screenshots, no problem. You could do that as well. That way you will be able to have the information that we are going to go over today. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you all, because I wanted to see what you all think, because when we talk about the secret sauce, we all wonder, and I know we have an idea of what that is, but if you guys, I want you guys to be really interactive today because I'm looking to see, some activity here. So I want you guys to be really interactive and really talk to me today. So I want to know inside of the chat of what do you think is the secret sauce to growing your business? And there's no wrong or right answers here. I just want to know exactly what it is that you think. So go ahead and let me know in the chat. What do you think is that secret sauce to growing your business? And it doesn't have to be just one thing. It could be a combination of things. But let me know exactly what it is that you think is that secret. I'm going to take my name off of here, so hopefully it won't be in the way. All right, so hopefully that said that would be in the way. All right, so somebody said great customer service. Okay, awesome, awesome. Yep, we do have to provide great customer service. Somebody said put it in the effort. Absolutely. We do have to go through and put in the effort. Interaction and consistency. Okay. Okay. I like the answers that you guys are giving me. And an effective marketing, recruiting, and retention plan. Absolutely. Patience and knowledge. Advertising. Awesome. Communication. Great. Secret sauce is taking care of your people and they will take care of you. Good, good, good. Marketing, great care of agents. Okay, excellent. Excellent. So I'm seeing a lot of really good answers here. And that all of those are great. And all of those definitely you will need in order to be able to grow your business. And this would really be for almost any business. A lot of the things that you guys said, customer service, we talked about retention. You guys said marketing, definitely all of those you need. Somebody said, what is the core of the person running the business? Yeah, you, right? All of those things are things that you need in order to be able to grow your business. So I like where you guys are going with this, and I like where you guys are. But have you ever heard someone or heard people say that you are the secret sauce to the growth of your business? And when you think about some of the answers that you all gave in your chat, the fact of being the person behind customer service, all of that stuff does have to do with you, right? It does have to be with you. And typically that's what I hear people say is you are the secret sauce to the growth of your business. And all of that is totally true. However, hold on one second, guys. All right. Yeah. So all of that is totally true. You are the secret sauce to your own business. You do have to be able to go through and put in the effort. You do have to be able to be willing to put in the work. You do have to be willing to up level yourself. All of these things are absolutely true. The things that you guys posted in the chat, you do have to be the one to be able to do the marketing, the advertising. You have to be the go-getter. But let me tell you, if that's the only answer, then we might as well just stop right here. There's more to growing your business than just you. There's more to growing your business than just marketing. There's more than just communication. There's more than just taking care of your agents. It's a tad bit more that we need in order to be able to grow our business. Because some of these things, they can get us there in terms of maintaining our agents. or maintaining our customers or clients, or even if you're not in a RISE IBO and you're looking at this from like a different lens, there's a lot of different things that you can do, right? There's a lot of things that you have to do in order to be able to maintain your business and be able to grow your business. But in this lesson, we're going to talk about different things, 3 different things, in fact, that you can do that are practical to actually grow your business. So yes, you as the person you definitely play a major part in the success and the growth of your business. But there's a little bit more that we have to do. So like I explained, we're going to go ahead and go over 3 practical ways that you can up level and grow your business. And these things you really can start to put in place today if you want, right? Now, I know when we go through these things, some of you may not agree. When we go through these things, some of you may say that you cannot do this. Some of these things, some of you are going to say that you're not ready to do this. And that's okay. Those things are totally okay. Because today's lesson is not about maintaining. Today's lesson is not about starting. Today's lesson is totally about growth. Okay? Growing your business, going beyond what you are today. So it's okay if today is kind of like if you were working out and you were in a gym, right? It's okay that in today you're lifting that 10-pound, right? You keep lifting that 10-pound dumbbell. That's okay. But eventually, it may not be tomorrow. It may not be a month from now or 2 months from now, but eventually I want you to go through and pick up a 15-pound dumbbell. And I want you to start working on it. It's going to be hard at first because you're going beyond where you've been today. But let me tell you that if you continue to do what you always done, then you'll always get what you always got. So today we're talking about going beyond where we are today and moving past that. So some of the things that I'm going to give you today, you may not be able to do right today. And some of them you can't. Some of these things you might be able to do today. But I don't want you to get discouraged that you can't afford this, or you can't do this, or this is going to be too hard, because when we're in business, it's all hard. If we're ready to grow our business, we do have to go through and do the hard thing. We can't keep going and lifting that same 10-pound weight and expect to get growth. We will never grow unless we start doing things that are beyond what we are today. All right, so what we're going to talk about here is, again, 3 practical ways for you to grow your business. And number 1 is going to be automate your processes and your workflows. One of the things that is very important is to go through and start duplicating yourself. A lot of times as business owners, we go through and we wear so many different hats. Believe me, I know. We go through and we are the marketing person. We are the recruiting person. We are customer service. We are payroll. We are HR. We are retention. We are all of these different hats. But we do have to start focusing on the things that we can do that does not take us. Because in order for us to be able to grow our business, we can't keep working in our business hours upon hours upon hours of time. Because in order for us to be able to grow, we have to allow the business to be able to flow even without us. Can you go and take a vacation of a week, 2 weeks, and your business still flow? If not, then how can we grow if it cannot move without us? What if something happens to us where, God forbid, we get sick or something like that? How can the business continue to grow without us? We have to put things in place that will allow certain things to happen and move and operate without us. So automation is going to save you time. It's going to keep you from having to do every single task All of these little tasks that we are doing, sending out emails, those should be something automatically done. Sending out invites to Zoom meetings, those should be automatically done. Doing the back and forth, oh, what time are you available for this meeting? Those things should be automatically done. I know a lot of times as small businesses, whether it's going to be in an Arise IBO or it's going to be any other type of business, that is one of my biggest pet peeves, is to try to get a service from a small business, and it's the back and forth about what time for us to be able to meet. I don't understand why we don't have schedulers to be able to book meetings. We should. We all should. If you're dealing with agents and you want agents to come meet you in Zoom rooms, we should have a particular schedule that has that particular service, and they should be able to book a meeting. We shouldn't be doing this whole back and forth because it's wasting time. And it requires us to be able to do it. So in order to be able to grow your business, I want you to really start thinking about what things can I automate. Now, I did a whole course and system. This was like last year that we talked about automation, going through and looking at, again, those small tasks that do not require you to go through and start automating those. Go through your systems and see what systems natively connect to one another. So like, for example, if you're using a scheduler, a lot of times if you're using a scheduler like Acuity or Setmore, those systems natively connect with other systems like Zoom, like Google, like all of that other type of stuff that you may need. They natively connect together. So we need to start making those connections so we can start automating a lot of our tasks, so we can start taking ourselves out of the business, and we can stop working so hard in the business and working on the business. Because how are we going to be able to have time to recruit agents if we constantly have to keep working in the business? If we have to constantly go through and we have to respond to emails, we have to do all the payrolls, how could we network? We don't have time to network. We don't have time to be able to do and work every single last hat that we are expected to do as a solopreneur. All right. So again, let's start setting up automations. All right. So the third practical way that you can go through and grow your business is to identify new opportunities and add additional services to your business that complement each other. Okay. How many of you actually go through and offer another service outside of Arise? I want you guys to post in the chat. How many of you guys actually go through and offer another service outside of Arise? And if you do, what are some of those services that you offer? All right, I see a couple people on Facebook. They say, I do. Like I said, guys, it doesn't have your name. Somebody at Takia said tax prep. Okay. Someone on Facebook said not yet. Okay, no worries. But let me tell you guys something. There is someone else said loan signing. Okay, awesome. I will soon, since the meeting with Daniel. Okay, so let me tell you guys something. As a virtual call center business, right? Because that's what we are. We're a virtual call center business when we're doing this whole thing with Arise. And again, we wear so many different hats. So many different hats. Remember, I said we wear the payroll, we wear the HR, we customer service. We are all these different types of hats. As you're going through and you're running your Arise IBO business, let me tell you, there are going to be certain things that you are going to get good at. There's going to be things that you're not going to be so good at either. But I want you to start leveraging the skills that you know how to do and start offering those things as a different service, as an additional service. And what I mean by complement each other is if you have a service. So for example, the other day, this was last week I posted inside of the IBO Knowledge as Wealth group 3 services that you can add on to your IBO that just totally makes sense. I think one of them was appointment setting, one of them was data entry, and one of them, the other one I believe was, who was the other one? Note taking. These are 3 practical services that complement your Arise IBO as a call center, right? Because those are customer service type of offers. Those are things that you can simply add to your website on a separate page and get clients to be able to pay you for those additional services. Because remember, today we're not talking about necessarily just running your Arise IBO. Today we're talking about growth. Arise is a great stepping stone for a lot of people. A lot of people. In the past, when I first started Arise, I had already owned 2 businesses in the past that had nothing related to this, by the way. But Arise is a wonderful stepping stone to be able to get your feet wet into the whole. If you take it seriously and you do the work, it will be able to give you a stepping stone to other opportunities. You guys listened to Daniel yesterday, right? You listened to Daniel of how he started this, and now he has the he sells the equipment and so many other things that he is able to do because of the stepping stone. It's about understanding that yes, Arise is a really good opportunity, and I want you to continue to strive in Arise. So I don't want you to get that take that away from this, okay? I still want you to be able to do that, and you still can do that, but there are other people that need your help besides just Arise, okay? There are other ways that you can get clients on your own besides just having just the Arise clients, because Arise is doing their job, right? They're going out and they're making these connections and they're getting clients, but you have a gift and a service that you can offer, and you can add this along with your IBO business. Again, these are just a few. You can do appointment setting. You can offer customer service. Why can't you take calls for a real estate company? We do. Why can't you go through and do data entry services? These things may seem very small, but over time, what happens is, because when you're going through and you're meeting with these clients now, it's not about Arise making the rate. Yeah, Arise is making their contract. You know what they're doing? They're negotiating the rate between their clients, right? Well, when you start getting your own clients, you're doing what? You're negotiating the rate. You're offering a service, and you can say, we're going to do X amount of hours or bundle in packages for $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Why can't you? Because now you're in total control over this contract. This is your client. This is the work that you're going to be doing, that you're going to have to produce results for. Let me tell you that we've added thousands of dollars in extra revenue each month to our bottom line by working with clients outside of Arise. And how we were able to do that, and I'm going to tell you in a minute how exactly we were able to do that. But one of the things is because I realized that with all of these hats that I started to wear as a new IBO, right? So back in 2016, as a new IBO, I had no choice but to wear so many different hats. I had to wear so many different hats because I didn't have the resources to say, oh, I'm going to spend this money on a website, or I'm going to pay someone to do my follow-up calls, or I'm going to hire somebody and outsource my work. I didn't have the resources to be able to do that. So I had no choice but to do every single last thing. But in me doing every single last thing, number one, I started to understand the things that I really like to do, as well as the things I really did not like to do. Which the things that I really did not like to do, those are the things that I outsource. I don't do those things anymore because I don't like to do them. But I started to understand the things that I like to do, and the things that now it's like, okay, I am really good at this. So now I'm really good at this. Let me go ahead and dive deeper into this particular field. For example, going through and doing Squarespace website design, right? I build websites. I build websites for Arise IBO. I build websites for many different clients outside of Arise IBOs. But I realized that I liked doing websites. So let me tell you how I realized doing this. I was building websites, right? I was building websites. I was new. I didn't really know how to use websites. The first website service I ever used was Vistaprint. Back in the day when I first had my first business, which was a boutique business, this was about 2000, probably like 2006. I built my first website at like 20 something years old, right? I did my first website on Vistaprint and sold a couple of items, put some items up there, clothing items, blah, blah, blah. So when I started my Rise IBO business, that's the first provider that I went to because back in the day, they were okay. They were good. You know, people were just now getting into website builders and it was a pretty good service or platform to use. Well, then I start looking at the service of the Vistaprint and I'm like, you know what? They don't really offer as much as what I need or the things of, because let me just back up one thing, is because when you start to up level yourself and you start to up level your business, you start to get a different eye for things. See, I can go back to the things that I used to do back in 2016 when I first started and they don't look too good. I can go back and I'm like, oh, I didn't grow past that because that looks a hot mess. So eventually you're going to start looking back at your past work and be like, man, how much? You're going to go back one day and see how much you have grown from where you are because you're going to continue to grow through this business. But let me go back to the story. So I went and I was like, well, let me find a platform that I could use that's going to look exactly the way that I want it to look. So I found Squarespace. I figured that I could go through and design it. Before that, honestly, I tried Wix and I'm like, I don't really like this. I don't really like the way that it looks. I'm not really able to really maneuver this that I want to. So let me not just use this. I went to WordPress and I'm like, this is too hard for me. Let me go find something else. And then so I landed on Squarespace. I put my first Squarespace website when Squarespace had 7.0. Okay, now Squarespace now has 7.1. I still have access to 7.0 websites because now I am a Squarespace Circle member. So I have access to be able to still build on old websites. But I built my first website on Squarespace 7.0, which was great. But then I started seeing some little features on other people's that I didn't have. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to transfer my whole website over to 7.1 because they have a couple things. I was building things for my clients at the time on 7.1. And I'm like, I can't do all this, but I'm building these features for them. So you know what I did? I went to Fiverr and I hired someone. And I hired someone purely because I didn't have the time. I didn't feel like transferring my whole website because my website, if you guys ever been on it, it's got about 15 different pages. Some of the pages are hidden. So I didn't have time to actually go through and transfer the website. The person on Fiverr, I got what I paid for. Okay. They did not do a good job. They did not transfer half the information that I had on my website, and it was a total waste of money. But you know what it did? It made me dive into 7.1, and it made me up-level myself by going through and practicing it. And then what I did from that was I invested into myself. I bought a course, right? I bought a course. Why not? I bought a course because this is what I said that I was going to start doing, because I said, you know what? I want to start offering this at a premium service to additional clients outside of Arise. But in order for me to be able to do that, I want to become a master at how to use Squarespace. So I paid $1,200 for a course that was worth it. So when you're going through and you're trying to figure out what services that you're going to offer, start with what you know how to do. But eventually, as you go through and you have all these hats, you got these 6, 7 hats on, eventually you're going to say, you know what? I really like this hat. This is my hat. This has become my favorite hat. I'm going to learn everything I can learn about this particular hat. And I'm going to up-level this and I'm going to offer this as a service. But I'm not just going to offer it just as a service, just like passively. I'm going to offer this as a service and be the best that I can be at this particular service. Because why not? If you're going to go through and offer a service, why not be the best that you can be? Because you know what that's going to do? It's going to get you more money in your business. I'm one of those type of people that I'll go through and I've done several online courses. I don't mind doing online courses. I'll do several of them because when I start getting into something that I really, really like, I want to be the best at what I decided to do. So that's what I want you guys to really start thinking about. And how I was able to go through and get clients outside of Arise. We talked about this yesterday, right? If you guys were here yesterday, we talked about this yesterday. By purely making connections. I sat in there and I watched Daniel's session as well yesterday, and he talked about the exact same thing, right? This is because this is the truth. This is the truth. It is purely by making connections. That's it. There's no secret to it. There's no it's nothing. It's just purely what it is. You can get clients for your skill set that you currently know how to do outside of Arise by purely making connections. It's all about your approach, and it's about how you go through and connect and can resonate with individuals. Now, you guys could go back to yesterday's session where we talked about making connections and how to make connections, because that's what we talked about yesterday. But that is purely what it's about. So let me tell you guys something, and then we're going to go to the third point. I actually went through and created a new course. I posted in the group 2 weeks ago that I was working on it and it was going to be done soon, and it is done. And I actually put it out yesterday. And it's called Transform Your Skills into a Lucrative Online Business. It's called Transform Your Skills into a Lucrative Online Business. And this is where I actually walk you guys through how to go through and explore your skills and your service offerings. We talk about how you're able to go through and offer services with the skill set that you already have. I also go over other services that you can offer that complement your current business. So we're not talking about things that I don't necessarily feel complement your business. Like we're not talking about you're about to start a car wash business or anything like that. We're not talking about that because that doesn't complement your current business that you have, because I want something that just makes sense, that when a client goes to your website, they will be able to say, okay, this is not some outlandish thing of a whole bunch of just like junk thrown on one web. So we learn how to take your current skills and how to go through and monetize those skills. We talk about everything that has to do with money. So how to price your services, contracts. We talk about contracts. We talk about packaging. We talk about affiliate programs. I explained to you about passive income and how you can turn your services into a passive income that will make you money in your sleep. We go through processes and systems. So you'll learn the systems and processes that you should have in place in order to be able to service your clients and to make them happy to go through and pay you. I have clients that pay me extreme amounts of money in terms of hourly pay for services that you would not think. So what I mean by that is like basic customer service, doing basic callbacks, setting appointments. We get paid $40 an hour to do. That's a lot just to do that. But you know what? That's the price that we set. No less than $40 an hour. And I actually tell you why I actually price my services at that amount too. So I'm not saying you have to price yourself there, but I do tell you exactly why I actually priced it starting at that rate. We go through and I show you how to market your services and how to get clients to pay you. So whether you decide to offer this service and this service could go for anyone. This is the thing. It can go for anyone. So it doesn't have to be a side hustle. It doesn't have to be a full-blown business. It's something you can add on to your existing business. But again, you need processes in order to be able to get the job done. I go over discovery calls of how you can go through and talk to clients to be able to nail that sale, how you can go through and onboard your clients. We go over the systems that you need to run your business. I go over content creation hacks that I can honestly tell you that I've never shared with anyone, but it's in the course. And I promise you that it would save you a lot of time. And it will make you so much better in content creation. We talk about websites and much more. So definitely go through and think about the new opportunities. So I hope right now you guys are thinking about, I hope right now you guys are really thinking about new opportunities or additional services that you can add to your business right now? Because as you're going through and you're growing your Rise IBO business, you're still doing the same things, right? You're still doing the same exact things. You're still going through recruiting. You're still going through and marketing your business. But there's some certain things that you can add that will also help you build up that other stream of revenue. Because one thing about with a Rise is that, and not just a Rise in general, just business in general, there's always going to be slow seasons where not too many people may get registered, or maybe that season where I used to have a season where, and this is when I first started my business, I used to have a season, and it's really bad, but it did happen. We used to have a season where it seemed like a lot of people were just having family members pass away, right? And of course, people pass away, but it was like a season where it's like, I would get one person's family member that passed away, and then it just was like a trickle down effect where it would be a few people all at one time who had family members pass away. And then of course, with that grief, which is totally understandable, you would lose agents, right? The cycle. It's kind of like when any other cycle with any other business. But again, if you have that other stream of income, that you have your Rise IBO business, have other clients that you're making outside of a Rise IBO, you're making a lot of money to be able to get to that bottom line that you have. A lot of times when we go through and we set our goals, and everyone has different goals, right? One of my goals is not necessarily about how many agents I have, right? How many agents do I have servicing? That's not really my goal. I do make that as maybe a sub goal to say, hey, we need to get this amount of people servicing for this particular quarter. Yes, I do that. But my goals are based off of really money. What do I need to do to make this amount of money? What do I need to do? What things need to come together so I can make 5 figures a month? What do I need to do that? I don't really care personally how that happens, as long as that it happens. So it doesn't matter if it's agents, it doesn't matter if it's clients, it doesn't matter to me as long as that number stays there. So I want you to kind of think about that when you are going through and you are, number one, goal setting, but then number two, when you're thinking about what else can I add? Because I can tell you, everyone that's listening to this, everyone that's going to be listening to the replay, you have a service, you have a gift that someone is willing to pay you for today. It's about making those connections with those people. It's purely about making those connections with those particular people. So the third thing is going to be a practical way to grow your business is going to be hire help and outsource your tasks. Now, when you're first starting your business, you may not necessarily be able to do that. And that is totally fine. But let me tell you a couple ways that you can do that are not so, that may not cost you so much, right? When I first started my business, I didn't have any resources, again, like I mentioned, to be able to hire anyone. But you know what I did? Through connections and in the Facebook groups, I came a connection with one of the other Rise IBOs. And you know what we did? We basically bartered. We basically bartered services. You do this for me, and I do this for you. And it helped. I didn't necessarily have all the money to pay her, and she didn't necessarily have all the money to pay me, but we bartered services. So I got what I needed to get done, and she got what she needed to get done. Because what I didn't like to do or didn't have time to do, I gave it to her. And what she needed to get done, she gave it to me. So like, I hate doing follow-up calls. I don't like it. I just personally don't like it. I find that it's very time consuming. However, I find it something that needs to be done. You do have to follow up with people. And sometimes doing that is doing it over the phone. I don't like to do that. So I rather hire someone to do that. But when I first started, I couldn't really just afford to pay somebody $20 an hour to make all of these calls. So I would give her a list. And again, it has to be someone that you trust. So again, it's about making connections, because You aren't just going to find just anybody in the group that you're just about to send a whole list of agents information over to. They might, do something. I'm not saying that. So you want to start making connections, but it doesn't have to be another Arise IBO. It could be somebody in your family that maybe you may have them do a couple of tasks, and maybe you'll do something for them, or maybe you'll have maybe a child or something like that you could start paying them a couple extra dollars if you have maybe a of age child that can make calls or do certain tasks for you and stuff like that. So it doesn't have to be as expensive as you may think. But in order for you to be able to eventually grow your business, you are going to have to hire someone. You are going to eventually have to outsource your tasks. It doesn't mean that you have to hire someone full-time. You don't have to hire someone part-time. You can go get someone, again, that is just going to be freelance. You can go to Fiverr and you can hire someone to do just a certain task for you. If you need someone to build you, like I create a lot of things, and I create probably 95% of everything I have. I do it myself. I like it. But there are a couple of things in terms of creating like designs, like the PowerPoint and stuff like that. I create that stuff because I like doing that type of stuff. But we just got a new YouTube banner, a Facebook banner. Well, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do that. If y'all have seen it, I can't do that. So I actually went to Fiverr and I paid someone to do it. And they did a really, really good job. And it did not cost me a lot. So you can go through and you can outsource certain tasks that you need to get done. But in order for you to be able to grow, eventually, you're going to have to start taking some of this stuff off of your shoulders. Because I want you guys to be able to go on vacation and everything still run fine. I want you to still be able to make money and get invoices and get money to your account without having to just spend all of your time doing your business. Because I know, and even for some of you all that are still working your business full time, I don't want you to be working your job full time, having to do all these hours in your Rise IBO business, put all of this weight on your shoulders, sending out all of these emails, making all these calls yourself, and then eventually just say, you know what, it's just too much. I don't have enough time. I'm just going to give up. Because I can tell you that it is worth it. It is worth it. I see sometimes that people will post inside of like the Facebook groups and say, is it worth it? It is worth it. Like I had said, even in my introduction speech, I quit my full-time job at a call center, making no money. Is the sound going in and out for you guys? Somebody said the sound was going in and out. I went and quit my full-time job, making no money, and jumped into doing Arise. Now, everything I did in the beginning with Arise wasn't right. I actually tell the whole story on the blog about how I didn't have a backup plan and blah, right? So if you want to read that whole story, it's on the blog. But I went through and I took a chance and it worked out. And it was about the perseverance. Yeah, if you could refresh, it probably will work better for you since no one else seems to be having a problem. But what I was able to do is just go through and just persevere. And you guys can get through it. So again, number 3 is hire, help, and outsource your tasks. So eventually, like I said, in order for you to be able to grow, right? Because remember, we in the gym doing our 10-pound weights is not going to make our muscles grow. Doing and lifting that same thing that we've always done is going to keep us where we still are today. In order for us to be able to grow, we got to pick up more weight. We got to be able to move past where we are today in order to be able to grow. And it could be little by little. It could be baby step by baby step. I'm not saying tomorrow that you're all of a sudden going to just have a brand new service and you're just going to have clients that are lined up. It's just going to have clients that are lined up, ready to be able to work with you. All right. Are you guys not having any sound? Because someone else said there's no. Oh, someone said no sound issues. Okay. So we have to be able to go beyond where we are today. We have to be able to have the mindset, not only actually do it physically, because really our physical is only going to go, our being is only going to go where our mind lets us be able to go. So we got to have the mindset that I'm going to be able to get there. No matter how you no matter how you plan on growing your business, you have to understand that your mind is going to have to tell you that you can do it. Some of you may have goals of having 200, 300, 400 servicing agents. Your mind is going to have to tell you that you can do it. It may not be tomorrow, but as long as you continue pressing forward, you'll be able to do it. Your goal may not necessarily be to have 200, 300 agents. Your goal may be only have 20 agents. And maybe you want to do other things and explore other opportunities that you love to do. Maybe you're a really good designer and you're like, I like to just design graphics and I want people to pay me to be able to do it. People will pay you to be able to do those things. How do I know? People pay me all the time to do it. It's about going through and making those connections. All right, guys, so we have come to the end and we're going to go ahead and do Q&A, and I'm going to do a giveaway as well, but I do want to take some questions too. We are going to give away an Automate Your Business e-course. This is a 2-hour replay course that I'm going to give away to you to help you understand how you can go through and automate your business. And I'm going to actually walk you through that video. It goes through 2 ways of how you can go ahead and set up automative tasks today. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and give that away. But first and foremost, I do want to take any questions because we have made it to the end. I went a little bit longer than I thought, but we have made it to the end, guys. So let me know in the chat how you actually liked this session, what takeaways that you had, and let me know what questions that you have, and I can go ahead and answer those for you. All right, you guys, let me know what questions you have. I hope you guys were able to find. I hope your wheels are turning after you leave this session. Like you're like, oh my goodness, what can I offer? What can I offer? And I would say offer something again, guys, that just it complements, that it makes sense for you to be able to add. So when you post it on your website, it looks just fine. If you guys have been to like even like my website, you guys have seen like we have like work with us, and we have the different ways that people could work with us: call center, virtual assistant services, Squarespace design, course creation. I actually get clients. When I tell you guys that you guys can do this, I know that you can do it because I'm no different. I'm no different than you. So I know that you could do it because I was able to do it. I get people that want help with courses. I get clients that want me to help them build full-blown courses. And I actually offer that as a service. All right, let's see what we have. Someone said, can I give an example of number 2? Give me 1 second. I don't know if this is sharing or not. Give me 1 second. I am bringing it up. Okay, yeah. Number 2 for the person that was asking was identify new opportunities and add additional services to your business that complement each other. Again, a couple examples of that would be customer service. You can offer customer service. You can, I can give you a particular niche. And I'm not saying that you have to do this particular niche because you want to find your own niche. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. But the real estate niche is a really good niche to get into in terms of doing customer service. Why? Because they always need help. They always need help. The real estate agents always need help with people doing appointment setting and customer service to actually call their people to follow up on leads. So if you're looking into getting into the real estate, not necessarily getting into the real estate industry, but actually using that as a niche, you can do very well in that particular niche because they always need help, always. You could do data entry. Data entry is another one. Again, appointment setting, calendar management. The services go on and on. If you are in your Rise IBO business and you are a really good recruiter, did you know that you can use that and do that as a service? I know IBOs that actually do that as a service. They recruit and they do staffing for major companies. If that's your jam and you know how to do that, you can offer that as a service. And guess what? You can make thousands upon thousands of dollars on contracts to be able to do that. All right. So someone asks here, you don't know what you don't know in business sometimes. So do you recommend a mentor or a coach to work with our sauce? So I'll tell you, I'm not sure who that was, but number one, that's one reason why I created the course, to help you actually understand that. So we do have $50 off of that course, which is on the website. It's to transform your skills into a lucrative online business. You can take that course, and I tell you guys literally everything. Like everything that I know, I have told you in that course, or I show you how to actually go through and do it. So you know everything. Like I said, even when it comes to some content creation hacks that I use on a daily basis, I actually share with you guys of how to do it and where you can go to get these things. Now, are all these things going to be like, hey, this is going to be free for you to be able to use? No, you can't. And I saw this post the other day. You cannot free Academy your business the whole entire time. You just can't. And eventually you do have to be able to invest in yourself. So everything that I'm going to tell you is not going to be free. When I first started my business, I used a whole bunch of free services, but in order to be able to grow my business, I had to start paying. Okay, so kind of think about that. In order for me to be able to grow my business, I had to start paying. I had to start paying for certain systems. I had to start paying for help. I know even before my business, and this may sound like a lot to some people, and again, it was kind of a lot to me even at the time, but you know what? I knew what this person could provide to me in terms of value is, and she did provide a lot of value to me that I use even to this day. But I paid a coach $280 for 1 hour. To speak to that person for 1 hour, I paid $280 to her. But you know why I paid it? Because I had been following her for a while and I knew her value, because she is where I wanted to go. So I had to go through and I had to pay the rate that she wanted to pay, and it was worth it to me. And like I said, again, it was very valuable. I don't regret actually going through and paying for that service. So sometimes, yeah, you do have to find a coach, but then also too, do your research, find things and find people that you can follow that are already doing what you want to do, and follow those people, see what those people are talking about, posting about. If they have courses, definitely, do those courses. Again, I say I pay for a lot of courses. I can probably tell you guys about 10 different courses that I have taken. And some of them were cheap and some of them were very expensive, but they were worth it. They were worth it to me. So it all just depends. All right. So let me see what other questions we have. All right, so somebody said, for those that starting out on a budget, what are some great sites to use that can help grow your business? I would personally just say, start by even just doing pure research. Okay, start doing pre-research. I want you to start thinking, like when you have a growth mindset, you're looking to be able to grow wherever you go. Let me tell you one thing that I do that a lot of people do not do, except for certain people that I talk to. A lot of people shy away from Facebook ads. How many of you guys actually go through and you're scrolling through Facebook and you actually look at the ads? I do. I look at all the ads. The reason why I look at the ads is because the ads, first of all, I know that a lot of them are tailored to the things that I like. So I look at them. And what I mean by Facebook ads, I don't mean show me some Nike shoes or some Coach purses. Those ads I don't really look at too much. Why? Because they're trying to retarget me for something that I left in my cart. Okay? Not those ads. I'm talking about the ads that say, hey, join this free webinar and learn how to do XYZ. Oh, well, let me see, because I've been actually wanting to learn how to do this. So let me sign up for this free webinar and attend. I look for those ads. I do. I look for ads. I have a whole Google Drive folder full of stuff that I got for ads, freebies that I just got from ads. And I actually go through them. Because I'm looking for information constantly on a daily basis. I'm looking for someone or something to show me something new. Every single day, I purposely go through life on purpose to learn something new every single day. So don't shy away from those particular things. And it's not just ads, start doing your research. If there's something that you like to do, start researching it and see what resources that are already available out there for you, and see what tips and stuff that people can go through and get you. So I would say that. Somebody said, awesome session, great networking and delegating ideas. A goal-setting foundation works for me. Absolutely. This was great. I learned that if I add more to offer outside of a rise, I can make more money with my business. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great presentation. Helps me get up and running. Wheels definitely turning. Yes, I hope you guys' wheels are really going through and starting to turn after you leave from here today. And by the end of this week, all of this information that we are giving to you all today is all to help you to be able to launch and grow your businesses. And by the end of this week, I can guarantee you can be able to do that. There's going to be something that you're going to take away from the sessions yesterday, from the sessions today, that are going to be able to help you earn more money in your business. So even if you don't buy anything from me, you don't buy anything from any of the speakers, we have done our job, because our job today here, what I'm trying to do for you guys today is to pass information along, right? To pass ideas along. And I want you to be able to go through and take and run with that information, even just from this session. It should make you think. It should make you think. Every single session that we're doing this week, it all should make you think about, wow, how can I do this? I went through, and like I said, Daniel went yesterday, and I went and sat in Daniel's session for a majority of the time and learned information. So go through here, and if you missed day ones, and if you can't get all the sessions today, certainly go through and be sure to go back through these sessions, because this is going to be, and even though all the other presenters that are coming after me, they are going to be awesome. I'm going to be sitting in those presentations as well, just to go through and soak up all this information that everyone has to be able to share. Oh, I didn't put on the screen. How long does the discounts last? They do last until Monday. So it's the $50 off the Transform Your Skills into a Lucrative Online Business. And then there's $25 off of the IBO Launch Academy. So we have those two discounts that we do have right now, and they do end on Monday. You do have to use those coupon codes. So just screenshot the coupon codes, so you will be able to have them in case you wanted to take part of any of those particular services. Both of those particular courses, they do have payment options. So if you're not able to afford, or at this time pay for it outright, we do 2 monthly payments. So we will split the payments for you. They're a tad bit more if you split the payments up, but you can split them up in monthly payments. So you could pay part of it now, and then you would pay the other portion of it the same day next month. So just to let you know, and you could do that with either one of those courses. All right, so wheels are turning. Thank you so much for opening my mind with fresh ideas. Awesome. The takeaway is to learn how to utilize my time and outsource and learn how to work smarter. Yes, Cheryl, definitely. I totally enjoyed hearing about the ways to take the skills built up as an IBO to complement income and generate opportunities. Absolutely. Are you calling real estate agents to probe if they need a service? So that's not personally I'll put this question up there. That's not personally my method of getting clients. Like I told you guys like before, and I may not seem like it, but I really am introverted. That's not my thing, to be able to just call people and ask for clients and ask for services. That's not my thing. Now, there are certain people that can actually do that, and you can go through and call and do all of that. That's perfectly fine. So no, that's not the way that I do it, but that is a way to do it. And I was using the real estate industry as an example, especially because, like I said, they constantly do need help. But again, when we talked about yesterday is if that's going to be your niche, hang out where they're hanging out. Where are they hanging out at? Find where they're hanging out at, and that's how you can go ahead and connect with them. All right. Somebody said, what about marketing and advertising? If you can kind of expand on that a little bit more so I can kind of answer that question for you. Someone said, well, learn how to recruit as well. So if you're talking about recruiting, there's, again, a lot of different ways to be able to recruit. I would recommend tuning in, if you didn't get a chance to tune in to yesterday's session on about obtaining the gaining and maintaining agents. I could post a link for you to that in case you missed that, because we did go over a couple ways to recruit and how you can actually go through and make those particular connections. So I will post the link to, let me get it. I'm gonna post a link to that particular session here for you. Give me 1 second, because that's going to help you a little bit on that. All right, let me go back up to what you guys have. Where did I leave off? Yeah, someone said in Facebook, good point, invest in our business and pay for worthwhile information and systems. Honestly, I just find it so much easier. Now, if you cannot do that, now I want you guys to understand, you don't want to do something, you don't want to pay for something if it's a stretch. So if you're taking from somewhere else to be able to pay for something, no, I'm not saying do that. But if you can find a means to be able to afford, to be able to get additional services, to get additional help, then for all means do that. When I first started my business, like I said, I didn't have the means in order to be able to do that. But one thing about me is, again, kind of always having an entrepreneurial spirit, because I did have 2 legit businesses and when I was younger. And then also too, what I started doing, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Poshmark, but I later started selling a lot of stuff on Poshmark. So I would sell like my old clothes, my purses. I would go to thrift stores and I would resell these items. And I actually did very well on Poshmark. I was actually thinking about starting up another, putting more stuff back on Poshmark, just because I buy a lot of stuff. And I like going thrift shopping, so I find so many different things. But again, doing something like that and the extra money that I made from Poshmark, I was making hundreds of dollars a month on just selling stuff. But that type of stuff was able to allow for me to be able to kind of put back into my business when my business wasn't making really that much money. Best believe that as you're going and you're starting out, we've all been where some of you may be. So some of you may be really, really new and you might be making no money. I did not start my business just all of a sudden like, I'm just coming down with money and stuff like that. No, that did not happen. It was a growth. So just like how I'm telling you guys to take step by step, weight by weight, we all had to go through and do the exact same things. We did not start this business making any money. On the blog, I tell you guys that when I first started my business, I didn't have no money. I went to go get office space. I didn't have no money. I wasn't making any money, but then I went to go get an office space and all of this other stuff. So I made a lot of different mistakes and a lot of mistakes that cost me money. But certain things that I wish that I would have did was I wish at the time that I personally had a mentor. I didn't. I didn't know anything about Facebook groups. I didn't know any of that. So I was doing everything totally on my own and I had to figure it out. But what I was able to do is I had the spirit to just keep pushing on. So I was able to become premier partner in my first 6 months of business. I was able to go get 12, 15 agents in my first 6 months and have 12, 15 agents servicing at that time, just because I was able to just continue just to push through. Even though I didn't know everything that I was doing, I was able just to continue just to push through. So yeah, sometimes you do have to go through and just spend what you can, but also to do your research. I'm not saying just jump into something, but do your research. There's so much information out here that it's just so much information out here. All right. Somebody said, thank you for the truth of that, as it is true for not knowing, but having to believe that your business will take off. Yes, your business will take off. If you do the work, that is, I can honestly say that about every single last person. If you do the work, it will take off. It may not move as fast as you may see somebody else. So you may be running this race, and when you're running this race, you can't look to the right or to the left. You can't compare your journey to my journey, to anybody else's journey, Girl Licity's journey, Daniel's journey, any of our speakers. You can't compare your journey to anyone else's journey because our journeys are all going to be different. The things that I had to go through are going to be different from the things that you had to go through. You may have had to go through so much more trials and tribulations than maybe that I had to go through, or vice versa. So everybody's journey is going to be different. But if you continue to push forward, and I keep saying that, and I say that every single time we talk about goals, every single time we talk about growth, because it's simply just that. If you keep moving forward, you have no choice but to grow. If you just keep taking steps forward, that's all that it takes. And like I said, it may not be as good, or it may not be not necessarily as good. It may not be as fast as someone else, but you will get there. You will definitely get there. Someone said, thank you so much for this information. Can you post a link to the courses? Yes. Let me get the links for the courses. 1 second. All right, I'm gonna take a couple more, see what else we have in the chat, and then I am gonna do the giveaway in 1 second. That way, I don't. Okay, so I did just post one, which was for the IBO Launch Academy. And the other one that I'm posting is for Transform Your Skills. And one thing about the Transform Your Skills into a Lucrative Online Business is not just for, I'm not just talking to Arise IBOs, right? Because you can add these services onto your business easily. But there are people that can go through and just really go through and start earning extra money off of the things they're doing in their 9-to-5 job. If let's say you're working in HR and you're a bookkeeper, there are people that are willing to pay you top dollar for bookkeeping services. There are entrepreneurs that are willing to pay you top dollar for bookkeeping services. So there's a lot out there that you guys could do to add on. I'm not saying bookkeeping necessarily relates to IBO. I'm just saying just in terms of the course in general. All right, so I'm just trying to go back to where I left off at. Okay, somebody asked a good question. Do I think servicing and trying to grow your business is a good idea? Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you need to go through and service, number one is going to do a whole bunch of things for you. Number one is going to give you experience. It's going to give you firsthand experience about what the agents are going through. So you'll be able to go through and relate to them and pass on tips and information to them that if you never did service, that you wouldn't technically be able to do unless you got it from somebody else or you took a course or something like that. So yes, definitely servicing while you're growing your business I think that is a really good idea. Also too, if you can put aside extra money to be able to even put into your business. So as you're going through and you're servicing and you're making that extra money, some of that portion of that money that maybe you don't have, to pay bills with, or you don't have to go into like your personal savings, you can take that extra bit of money and you can put it aside and grow your business, put that money back into your business as well. So I definitely think that is a really good idea. Okay, so somebody asked, is it transferring your skills into a lucrative online business already a part of the IBO Launch Academy, or is it separate? No, it is definitely a separate course, is a separate course altogether, because this course, again, it's not geared towards IBOs. This course is for anyone that has skills, which everyone does. This course is for anyone that wants to monetize their skills and start an online business. So if you're going at it with an IBO, you can simply just take those skills and take all that information and add it to your existing IBO business. But if you're a person that doesn't have a business and you're like, I want to go through and start offering services, you can take that course and start offering services, know how to price your services, learn how to find clients, etc. Okay, somebody said the IBO Launch Academy has helped them so much. Great investment. Awesome, awesome. Someone asked, would I suggest Google Business, or do you believe there are other sites that are better? So do you mean the person, it just has Facebook user, so I'm not sure who that is. But if you wanted to just post to elaborate on that a little bit more about do you mean, do I want you to Google information? If that's what you mean, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. If you can kind of elaborate a little bit more for me. But if you do mean that, absolutely. I absolutely do believe that you should Google information. But I want you guys to keep in mind a couple of things. Even when you go through and Google information, which is a very good idea, you should definitely go through and Google information. I want you to be sure that, number one, you're checking your sources. And once you find like a really good source, is to really go through and follow that source wherever they're hanging out. So like if you follow someone and you're following someone from Google, and maybe you come across a blog, maybe see if they have a YouTube channel, maybe see what their website looks like, maybe look at their social media and start following the same person that you're getting this information from. Because when you're going through and you're trying to piece together a whole bunch of free information, sometimes you kind of get yourself in a worse position than you were before, because not everyone has the same method of doing things. When people are trying to teach you how to do something and you're getting this information from this person, that person, and you're trying to piece together a whole bunch of free stuff, sometimes it doesn't always work out all that well. So that is my recommendation, is to kind of start, if you're going to start doing that and you're kind of go into it that I need to find more out about this person and start following them on different platforms to really see what this person is about and kind of dive into, what they have going on. All right, posted those. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get these last. I think I have a couple more questions here. I'm going to go ahead. So we'll stop at 12:30. So let me just go through the rest of these questions and I'll do the drawing at 12:30. Let me see what other questions. Someone said there's a lot of great information from day one and getting agents. So someone asked, what are the clients' connections for marketing and advertising? So what I would recommend is going back. I'm not sure who posted that, but I would recommend to go back to day one, because we talked about making connections in day one. The same type of connections that you would make when you're talking about making those connections with your agents are the same type of connections that you're going to make when you're trying to get clients outside of Arise. Because I just want to let you guys know too, when we're talking about getting clients outside of Arise, yes, you can go get major companies, right? You can do that. But I don't even want you to think that you have to go through and get major companies in order to be able to sell your services to. So I'm not saying, okay, let me see if somebody like major that, I'm trying to think of an example or something like, I can't really think of an example, but of someone that's major that would be, I ain't gonna say obtainable, but when you're going through, so it doesn't have to be a mass company, meaning it doesn't have to be a company that has a whole bunch of people working there. Okay, so I'm not saying you have to go and get Walmart or something like that. You can go get another entrepreneur it could be a solo entrepreneur, or they could be an entrepreneur that has a team of other people that are working with them. But typically they're going to be like smaller companies, but they may be making a lot of money where they're able to go through and pay you top dollar for your services, especially if they find value in your services. That's the number one thing. People are willing to pay for your services if they find it to be valuable. The same information, the same thing that I just told you guys about with me paying that amount of money for that 1 hour session, $280. I knew that when I paid that money, it was going to be valuable for me. Why? Because I'd already been following this person. I've already had conversations with this person in the past. So I knew that the information was going to be valuable. So even though it may have sounded like a lot to some, and maybe even to myself, it's like, oh man, I got to pay this. But at the same time, I knew that I was going to get value. So people are willing to pay you if they know that what they're going to get from you is going to be valuable. So really going through and just making those connections could be with anybody. It doesn't have to be these large people. You can go right now to one mom and pop store and say, hey, you don't have a Facebook page. I'll be happy to go through and set up a Facebook page for you. You would think that, oh, anybody can go through and set up a Facebook page. No, they can't. Not anybody. A lot of people can, yes. Not everybody. You only have to be 1 or 2 steps in front of the person that you're trying to service. If you're going to a mom and pop store, they don't know anything about Facebook. They don't know anything about creating ads. They don't know anything about creating graphics. As long as you're a couple steps in front of them, you can offer them that service because they don't know how to do it. So you're providing value to them. And that's something that may sound simple to us because it's like, okay, everybody knows how to do that. I can do that. It's going to take only a few minutes to be able to do that. Not everybody knows how to do that. And sometimes it's not about what people know how to do. Sometimes it's about what time people have to be able to do it. Sometimes clients are willing to pay you for things, not because they don't know how to do it, it's because they don't have the time to do it. Their time could be better spent doing something else. All right. So someone said, plan your work and work your plan. Do you teach how to price your services in a separate business? Yes. So in that course, we do talk about how to go through and price your services. We talk about 3 different pricing methods. I go over each one of those methods, the pros, cons of those methods, and how you can go through and price out your services. All right, so I'm gonna bring this one up. It says Facebook user looking into sites for building email and websites. You said that there are some that link together well already and can help be on less sites to run your business. So, for example, I can give you, I think I kind of understand this question. For example, again, I told you guys I'm a Squarespace website designer. Squarespace natively connects with MailChimp. It natively connects with MailChimp. So if you were to, MailChimp is an email marketing service. So any clients that want to build email and they want to put those little newsletter blocks into a Squarespace website, it natively connects. They're already connected to each other. Squarespace is owned by Acuity Scheduler. It automatically connects. There's no necessarily embedding an Acuity Scheduler on a Squarespace website because Squarespace owns Acuity Scheduler, so they natively connect into the system. That's what I mean by certain things that natively connect with one another. So those particular systems, there's no embedding links or embedding code into those. They already connect with one another. This is a great question. Do you have multiple business licenses for your skills? Nope. Not for those particular skills that I offer, because what I was going through and I was letting you guys know is getting things that make sense together. Makes sense. Doing all of the customer service and admin type of skills that all make sense with a virtual call center business. So no, those skills are all housed under the one virtual call center business because our business license does not say call center. It never did. It never did. So we don't have to have a separate business license for that. Now, do I have a separate business license for the IBO Knowledge as Well program? Absolutely, yes. Because we do different things. We do course creation. We do different things under that business. So yes, those 2 businesses, my call center business and the IBO business, they are two separate businesses. All right. Somebody said they just got the course. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, someone replied back, nor do they everyone want to do it sometimes. Yeah, people will pay you for services they don't want to do. Like I just told you guys, I pay people to do follow-up calls. Can I do follow-up calls? Absolutely. Do I sometimes think that maybe I may be the best person to do follow-up calls? Of course, because I created the script. Why wouldn't I be the best person to be able to do it? But the purpose of it is for me to duplicate myself and to find someone that can do it just as good as I feel that I could do it. But can I do it myself? Absolutely. Do I want to do it? No, I don't. I don't want to do it. So I don't do it. I hire people to do it. Someone asked the question, I think this is the last one. Is the marketing and recruiting intermediate training included in the IBO Launch Academy? Yes. So marketing and recruiting intermediate training, that is a marketing and recruiting techniques and information all about your Rise IBO business. So yes, that is included inside the IBO Launch Academy. All right, so now we are at 12:30. Let me look at my chat for inside of the group so we can go ahead and give this away. So we can go ahead. You guys make sure that you guys make note that we are going to be coming back at 3 o'clock. Well, I won't be back at 3 o'clock, but well, I'll be looking in the chat. But Tiffany will be here. Tiffany Jones, she'll be here at 3 o'clock talking to you guys about self-care for the busy business person. So definitely be sure to tune into that session. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give away the prize. I'm looking at the chat for inside the group. So hold on one second. Let me see how many. I hate my phone doesn't always, my Facebook on my phone doesn't always give me all of the information. I mean, it doesn't always, kind of set itself. I don't know if anybody else's does that, but mine does not take me to what's going on the latest in the feed. It just doesn't. I don't know why. All right, let me see. Let me mute this. Is it muted? Yeah, let's mute this out. All right, give me a couple moments here. And I'm just going to randomly choose someone, but I'm trying to bring up all the comments inside of the chat, and it does not show me all of the comments. Let's see if I see more here. Okay. All right, so I did pick someone here because I'm not sure where I can see all the chats, but no worries because we got other prizes to give away. And next time when we give away the prizes, we're going to put everyone that's registered into here, we're going to put it all into a randomizer. So you guys will be able to win more prizes throughout the week. But I told you guys I'm giving away an Automate Your Business e-course, which is going to be great. Let me bring it up. Let me just, because I could tell you exactly what's inside of it. This is something that we did, that we talked about last year. All right, so the Automate e-course, it walks you through how to determine when to use automation, elevate the systems that you are currently using. I walk you through how to use Zapier. It does have a couple bonus videos in there, like there's a couple bonus documents and time management video that we have in there as well. Again, it's about a 2-hour course plus the additional bonuses in there, so it's a little bit over that. So I will go ahead and give that away. Oh, somebody posted something off subject. They said maybe off subject. Let me see what you said before I give this away. Oh yeah, somebody said they don't know why it does that. Yeah, because my feed is never updated. Like I will go to my feed and it will show me posts from like yesterday. It's never updated. Every time I go on here. All right. Somebody said maybe off subject, but But when creating invoices for your agent, you create a separate invoice for yourself, or do you use an invoice Arise gives you? So yes, yes and no. So with us, we use SquareUp. So with SquareUp, it creates that pay stub invoice for you when you put the information in. So it automatically sends out the breakdown. I just copy and paste from my Excel spreadsheet the breakdown, like the intervals, the hours, the IBO fee, the Arise fee, and of course the net amount. And that just goes inside like that little note section inside of SquareUp. And the agent, they get notifications once they get the pay and the pay stub or invoice statement. And it has the breakdown of everything, the amount. It shows them even the year to date. So we send that to our agents when we do process payroll. So hopefully that kind of answered that question. All right. So the winner of the Automate Your Business e-course is going to be Samantha TKM, who is inside the Facebook IBO Summit Facebook group. So congratulations, Samantha. You have actually won the Automate Your Business e-course. And what I need you to do is I need you to send me a direct message with your email address so I can go ahead and register you into the course. So you'll get registered, you'll get an email to say you're registered, and you just need to set your password. So just send me an email. You're welcome. Just send me an email, send me a direct message. Just send me a message with your email address so I can go ahead and send that out to you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you joining in today. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys got a lot of takeaways from this session. Again, tonight this afternoon, we have the session at 3 p.m., which is about self-care, which we all need some self-care. So it's going to be a really great session. And then Daniel's going to come back at 7 o'clock, and he is going to answer some questions for you as well. So any type of questions you want to ask Daniel, be sure to come back at 7 o'clock tonight. And I believe he said he was giving away a prize to that session as well. So be sure to return back so you guys can possibly win another prize. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you guys again